everyone. I'm Amit from Marlabs Marketing, and today we're at our AI Innovation Studio. I have with me today Sriraman, who's the head of digital and AI, as well as our sustainability leader, join us for an interesting conversation on all things AI. Sriram, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here as well.
Okay, so let's get started. What's all the hype about? Should I be worried, confused, scared?
I would say it's a combination of all of it. The hype is real, but as with every technology, there'll be a little bit of overhype. We all understand why it's needed. But in all fairness, it's overhyped now, but in the next few years, the hype will settle down to a more equilibrium state. It'll be real, it's here to stay, and we all know the hype is because of ChatGPT. And behind that, it's generative AI. And everyone's today talking about generative AI and how it's going to impact their daily life, their daily workflows, at work, at home, and everything in between. And you know what? It's going to have a profound impact in the way that it'll be everything.
That's great, Sriram. So you mentioned generative AI. So talking about it, what do you think is going to be the near-term impact of generative AI?
I'm very excited about its possibilities. I think it's going to kill off a lot of our daily routines in a better way, if you will. It's going to drive a lot of change in our behaviors, in the way we work, in the way we do our personal things. And not just generative AI, there's going to be a lot of other classical AI fueling that as well. I would think apps would go away. Applications would go away, and you would see what Microsoft is doing today, right? You would see generative AI would be, their Copilot would be at the core of their operating system. And the shift and the way, and when you think about the shift and the way it's going, I think even mobile phones and the smartphones, the way we use it might just different.
The way we interact.
So the way we interact with, that's a good point. It'll be all natural.
Right.
We're going to be achieving and completing our tasks in a more natural manner. So the touch, type, all those tactile interfaces would just go away. It'll all be just voice-driven, natural language-driven, accomplishing tasks through those gestures, right? So you want to book a ticket, you want to order food, you want to go from point A to point B. It'll be just instructions that you're giving to these AI systems, and they do it on their behalf. They complete the task on your behalf. In a way, it's invisible interfaces. The interfaces that we know would shift to be more natural. We also be blending into our environment more naturally. Phones could shrink to small devices that's plugged in like this mic here, and you're just talking to it and getting simple things done. It's not sci-fi, it's not long-term. I would say it's like mid-term. In the next 5 years, you would see this in your face.
Right. That's a very interesting perspective, Sriram, and I'm definitely looking forward to the possibilities there. So now when I think about companies 25 years ago, every company needed to adopt technology. Maybe 10 years ago, every company needed to be digital. So are we at the stage where companies need to be AI first?
I won't say AI first. I would probably say they need to be AI ready, or rather AI powered to be more accurate. And not today, maybe the next 5 years. They need to start preparing now. They need to start adopting those AI tools. The technology is necessary to become AI powered in the next 5 years, right? And it's good for the business. It's about efficiency, it's about growth, and AI will enable all of this. And more importantly, they also need to empower their employees, train them, upskill them to be able to effectively use these tools so that their productivity is improved and they're more effective in the work that they do. And that's what I mean by AI powered, not just that your services and products have AI in them, but end to end, your entire business operations, your employees, everybody need to be AI powered and AI ready. And I think it's an exciting future for business if they are.
That's a very interesting perspective, Sriram, and I couldn't agree more when you say that being AI ready is really about empowering our people. So that's a very phenomenal point.
That's right, Amit, because automation tend to replace a lot of manual tasks and
Right.
human tasks. But with AI, it's really about collaborative intelligence. AI cannot work by itself. It needs humans, and humans' productivity improves with AI. So it's collaborative intelligence, and that combined power is going to create a lot of possibilities and opportunities for us.
That's good, because when I think about AI, I think one way that really gets me excited is when I think about self-driving cars, right? And Tesla and others have found a way to make it very successful in few countries. But I also understand that it may not be that successful in a lot of other countries, right? Where traffic situations can be a little chaotic. So don't you think that is a limitation of AI?
It's interesting that you bring that point up, because talking about collaborative intelligence, I think self-driving car is a good example of that. I'm a Tesla fan by myself, and I've seen what self-driving technology can actually do. It's mind-blowing, to be honest. But it's also a limitation, right? In countries where things can be a little bit more chaotic, it can't really do what it can in other countries just because it's not designed for it. Not that it cannot, but if you have to build for chaotic situations. I call it 99% and 1%. Building something, especially with AI, to address 99% is the easiest. It's the last 1% that's the most complicated. And in situations where traffic is chaotic, infrastructure is not mature, that 1% makes it really, really hard. It requires a lot of investment, a lot of complexity, and a lot of effort to build self-driving cars to address so many different possibilities. If you ask me, my view would be invest that effort into public transit, and make that autonomous, make that AI-powered and AI-driven. And when all automobiles by themselves become autonomous on the roads, then AI-powered cars becomes a reality. Because for that to be simple, less complex, and be more efficient, the 99% I was referring to, every other vehicle on the road needs to be AI-powered. If it has to compete with human drivers, yeah, of course, things are going to get interesting on the road.
Right. So what I hear you say is bring in AI, reduce the complexity that exists, and then you kind of have a level playing field for AI to be successful.
Yeah, in a way, go back to that AI-powered, AI readiness. That's why it's important that you just don't adopt AI and everything else around us backward, right?
Right.
For AI to be efficient and most productive and most impactful, everything else that comes around it to support it needs to be advanced as well, mature as well, which is why the term AI readiness comes in, right? What do you mean by being ready for AI? Let's go build that infrastructure. Let's go make more vehicles autonomous. Let's make public transport and public transit autonomous. So once all those ingredients are in place, then self-driving cars automatically become a reality.
Absolutely. Okay, that's an interesting thought, Sriram. And obviously, with great power comes responsibility. And just like the example of autonomous vehicles, I recently read in an article that New York has mandated companies that use AI-powered recruitment software to publicly disclose their data and findings and frameworks to ensure that there is equitable outcomes for everyone, right? So do you think mandates like that are necessary to make AI useful and powerful and equitable for everyone?
Yeah, see, definitely oversight is necessary. But here's my pet peeve. I find it funny that only with AI people talk about responsibility. Technology has been here for so long. No one really emphasizes on the fact about responsible use of technology, fairness, equitable, and bias, and all the terms that's out there now because of AI. I think in a good way, AI and the advancements of AI has made these issues come out in the forefront. They've always been there. They've always been there for many, many years. But thanks to AI, it's all out in the forefront. And while we are addressing this in the pretext of responsible AI, in a way we are solving responsible use of technology as well, right? And to your news about this New York and recruitment, a lot of people don't realize that AI is not making decisions. It's not a thinking machine as yet. It's the data that's already there. If recruitment software is making decisions that is unfair, I think we have a far more a fundamental issue that's sitting in the data. And data doesn't come from anywhere. It's decisions that have been made in the past. And that's what you got to be addressing. Those grassroots issues, what you should be fixing. It's not an issue with AI. It's an issue with the process. It's an issue with the data. And how that data, how does that biased data get in there? It's those past decisions. Once you fix those issues, once you fix those process, which is probably going to go beyond technology itself and a lot more complex because it's about human and human mindset, these technology issues and the responsible use of it becomes far more simple.
Maybe a follow-up to that would be, there are certain decisions that we make on our daily lives where there's really no consistency in how we do it. For example, it could be with how banks give out loans, right? Sometimes you give it to someone based on a lot of factors, sometimes you don't. So do you think AI can come in and actually solve that and make it very equitable and very predictable in a good way?
See, here's the hard truth. A lot of our daily decisions today in our lives are already being driven by algorithms. Whether it's the video that you want to watch or whether it's the pricing that Uber gives out. We are unconscious about it. I think with the advancements of AI, no matter the reason is GPTs, generative AIs, forget all that. Today, everyone's talking about AI. It's out there. People have started thinking about responsible use. Great. We also need to start thinking about being aware, because so far we've been at a subconscious level going about our daily lives with the decisions that these algorithms have been making to us. It's time for us to be applying our critical thought. Critical thinking is the most important tool that we have, that we need to start applying going forward, because that's the world that we are living, and it's going to become a lot more harder in terms of making those decisions, because you don't know right versus wrong, truth versus false. social media, it's just all over, right? Critical thinking is important. Question everything that you see. Make informed decisions. When you're reading something, make sure the articles, the sources that it's coming from, being written by, make sure you do all those checks before you make decisions based on that. Right? That's very important. I think as with any technology, it's still evolving. We'll bring in the necessary frameworks, tool sets, governance, human mindset. All of that will come together to make it more palatable, make it more responsible, yes, but we have to do our part in terms of our critical thinking.
Right. I agree with you, and it's often said that AI definitely can be a little bit of a black box, but with the right data, with the right frameworks, we can make it, like you said, palatable, equitable for everyone. So I think maybe that's something to look forward to in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with all our collective effort, the black box, if not become white, at least can become gray.
Yeah. So now I want to ask you, Sriram, in your role as digital and AI head at Marlabs, what are some of the things that Marlabs is developing, keeping AI at the center?
It's my favorite question. So a lot of our customers often ask us, they don't know where to start. And then they don't know the business value that this generates. So what we've come up with is something called as AI readiness. In the spirit of Marlabs tagline, which is driving digital agility, it's about driving AI agility for our customers. So as part of that, we have something called as AI readiness. So remember, we spoke about AI first and AI, being AI ready. It's all about that. You need to be ready. And even before adopting AI, you've got to do a lot of things to get you become AI ready, and then you start using AI. So we have an entire journey mapped out. We call it AI readiness, and we help our customers start from there, discover what use cases that you want to adapt, educate your workforce, find out those high impact areas and start populating that with different AI tools, and then go from there to experimenting, and then start scaling, and then start realizing the value, and then their ROI. So we do that entire journey, and we call it AI agility framework, if you will.
Okay, that sounds very exciting, and I'm sure that that's going to definitely yield a lot of interesting conversations with our customers, and hopefully they can realize some good business value with the power of AI.
Yeah, absolutely. Exciting days ahead.
Okay, fine. So on that note, thank you, Sriram, for joining us for this interesting conversation.
Thanks a lot.
I can definitely say that I've become a lot more AI smarter, if you will. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we actually call it AI quotient. Move over IQ, now it's AQ.